I've been doing some digging recently into the nature of confidence, motivation, and grit, seemingly all the makings of a successful and flourishing life. It's interesting to see how the people we regard as the most influential in society seem so utterly fearless sometimes. They may face unbelievable oppositions, such as illness, abuse, and even oppression. And yet they somehow still seem to overcome this thing called fear and stay focused on their mission. The truth of the matter is that everyone experiences fear, so don't be ashamed if you've ever allowed fear to hinder you from doing something. To fear is to be human. Rather than judging yourself for experiencing fear, simply acknowledge your emotion and start investigating the root cause of it. Let your triggers be your teachers. Start by asking yourself, why does this particular thing cause me to feel fearful and anxious? You'll find that sometimes it's not the activity itself that scares you, but the harmful potential of the activity. That's why our level of fear and anxiety sometimes don't seem to match the problem at hand. Even the slightest reminder of our past trauma could cause our bodies to go into fight or flight mode. After all, if you've been badly burned by the stove once, you'd be much more hesitant to start cooking again. That's just our brain's way of protecting us. But there comes a point when our fear, which is our natural warning signal, stops serving us and begins to hinder us instead. That's when it's time to surrender that fear and learn to choose faith. Before I go into the details on how to do that, I'd like to thank Care Of for kindly sponsoring this video. If you haven't already heard of them, Care Of is a wellness brand that makes it easy for you to get the right vitamins and supplements for your needs. I love that the personalized daily packs are made with eco-friendly, compostable film. You can find more info on how to compost them at takecareof.com. I truly trust Care Of with my health because their products are formulated with clean ingredients, and they're extremely transparent with the research and sourcing behind each product. I've also taken Care Of during the later half of 2019, and it's definitely helped my digestive and immune systems. Simply take the quiz to see what vitamins and supplements Care Of recommends for you, and get 50% off with my code GATW50. It takes your body about 30 days to adapt to new nutrients, so now is a great time to update your vitamins to help support your immune system for this upcoming season. Now let's get back to our conversation about fear versus faith. You might have heard of the basketball player named Jeremy Lin. He was, at one point, one of the most famous people in the world because of his outstanding skills. But after suffering multiple serious injuries and losing ample time on the court, Jeremy began struggling with the crippling fear of failure and rejection. He felt as though good things were no longer coming his way. As soon as he would heal, another serious injury would ensue, and he'd be left out of all the games yet again. Eventually, what he fretted most came true, and he was left without a team. He just couldn't seem to catch a break. But then one day, Jeremy divulged this deep, guttural fear of failure and rejection to his friend. To his surprise, his friend revealed something that changed the way he processed his fears thereafter. His friend said, "In life, we have a lot of facts. You did get injured. You did rupture your patellar tendon. You did have no NBA offers. and these are facts. But when we add our emotions and our interpretations into these facts, we walk away with beliefs. So it's facts plus emotions and interpretations equals beliefs. That was when he realized his limiting beliefs were responsible for causing so much fear. He went on to say, our limiting beliefs are actually lies. This was the first time Jeremy had played offense against his fears. For the first time in his life, he said, he called out his fears by name and challenged them with the truth of God. You see, to overcome fear doesn't mean that you should never experience it again. It means to break the chains that fear has over you, so that despite the fears that you may have, you can choose to give faith the last word instead. Our fearful fight or flight response was meant to help protect us from trouble. But it actually starts working against us when we internalize our emotions as absolute truth. There might be obstacles in your life right now. In fact, because of the pandemic, there's been a historic rise in mental health crises across the nation. Fear is running rampant in our country this year. And what we need isn't more self-conjured courage or even contentment. What we need to combat fear is Christ. When you're faced with a triggering situation that brings you into a dark headspace and your heart is filled with fear, pray for Him to show you the truth. When you ask Jesus to illuminate the dark places in your heart, you'll see that they're not so scary in the light after all. In the light, you are safe and protected. You have the power to heal and overcome past hurts. You don't have to fall into despair. There is goodness all around you. You are relentlessly pursued by your Heavenly Father and vehemently loved. He hears your cries for help, as well as your hopes and dreams. He wants to take you by your hand and walk with you, comforting you. So don't be afraid, even though you'll face many troubles, because He has already overcome the world.